So what would you say is your influences in each of the songs that you perform?
So when I write music, I usually think of the concept first, like what I want my listeners to think about and reflect on with their lives. For example, with To Win, Will You Give Up? The core question is, will you lose your humanity and your ethics in order to win, like to succeed at all costs? So I was thinking like, what would it sound like for someone who's like fighting their way through to the top and like crushing everyone in their path? And it should be something that sounds very angry. So I use like a lot of angrily or sharply played strings and sharp percussion instruments. And I think each of the songs reflects each of the core themes differently, because maybe you can tell from my studio versions, maybe not this live session, but the studio version is very different musically. Like each song has its own genre. So I would say it's whatever it needs to be to communicate the message in the clearest way, rather than being restricted to a certain genre. Yeah.
Of course. And what do you think, what are the genres that you feel like you've done so far? Would you want to restrict it to a genre, or rather leave it to the audience to decide?
Yeah, I don't know what to call my genre, because I feel like a lot of the times people ask me, hey, what style do you play? And I always say it's whatever in my head's genre. So like a lot of people describe it as theatrical, and I think because I was in musical theater before and I grew up in musical theater performances, so I love those elements and like big performance, big drum sounds and orchestra. Yeah, I always like the sound of acoustic and orchestral instruments, but in terms of genre, it's whatever it takes to get the core message across. So I
to
wouldn't
tell
say,
the story.
Yeah, the stories.
Okay, and so from what we know, you have been, you have like musical backgrounds before. You did musicals and you were also in a band, but you just debuted as a solo artist just last year. So I wanted to know, like, what makes it the right moment for you to be a solo artist?
Yeah, when I was in a band and then the band broke up because everyone got so busy, and I actually stopped doing music and actually anything creative, like painting or anything like that, for 6 years, to climb the corporate ladder, as mentioned, and focus on other side of work. And then I realized that part of me, like being creative and expressing myself musically, is missing from my life. And I just got back into it again. I guess it's like the times during COVID too, where everyone's like getting back into their creative endeavor and finding meaning in that. And yeah, I think since I got back into doing music, my life has been more meaningful than ever. And I hope that the meaning in my songs also help others, like the listeners, reflect on how they're living their lives, whether that's meaningful for them either as well. So
yeah, thank you. That was very inspiring. So for the last question, I just wanted to ask you, what can we expect from Tamlin next, and how do we follow you?
Yeah, so I'll be releasing more songs and music videos. So I also love doing music videos, and I think it's a big part of communicating the message as well. So the next song that's coming out, I think it's gonna be Let Me Be. That's the title of the next one. Hopefully, I might change my mind, but we'll see. And you can see that on my YouTube channel or any platform. And my handle is Tamlin Songs. You can put it somewhere in the video, I guess, on everything. Yeah, YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, SoundCloud, everything, Tamlin Songs. So yeah, come check it out.
Yeah, so come check it out, everyone. So thank you again, Tamlin, for joining us today. It was lovely to have you.
Yeah,
thank you.